Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to go over rumors about the 7mm PRC. So we're going to talk about the case, we're going to talk about the performance, how it'll stack up against the competition, and I have the question, is it going to be the ultimate ELR cartridge? So let's get into the rumors. Now, before I start discussing some of the rumors and speculations about the 7mm PRC, I just want to make it extremely clear that it's just rumor and speculation. Hornady has not released anything official that I know of about the 7mm PRC. So please take this with a little bit of grain of salt. First things first, let's talk about the parent case for the 7mm PRC. And this one I'm pretty confident will come true, but the speculation is that the 7mm PRC is going to be based off the 300 PRC and not the 6.5 PRC. The case on my left is the 6.5 PRC, and the case right here is a 300 Win Mag, which has extremely similar case dimensions to the 300 PRC, which I believe the 7mm PRC will be based off. So the similarities is the length of the case will be about the same. It's just not going to have a belt, and the 300 PRC has just a little bit more case capacity than the 300 Win Mag, so they're very similar. More on the case dimensions for the 7mm PRC. This is the 300 PRC's case dimensions. So the case is 2.580 inches long. I expect the 7mm PRC to be at that, or maybe just a tad bit longer. And there's the case size. So it's 0.532 inches wide. And so it's going to fit a lot of powder in there, especially when you can, seat the bullet so far out. That's what this PRC is meant to do. I mean, look at the max cartridge overall length, 3.70 inches. I expect it to have about the same max coal for the 7mm PRC. One thing I'm interested in knowing is what the barrel length will be on the 7mm PRC. As a hunting rifle, you're probably going to have the same as the 300 PRC at 24 inches. But I wonder if there's going to be other rifle options where they're going to be with 26-inch barrels or longer. So it'll be interesting. So the 7mm PRC is going to have a very similar size case to 28 Nosler. Now, I believe it's going to be a little bit smaller case capacity than the 28 Nosler, but unlike the 28 Nosler, the 7mm PRC will most likely have a magnum length action. So the 28 Nosler still has a standard length, cartridge overall length. The SAMI is 3.340, which is the same as the 30-06. So the 28 Nosler with these really high BC long bullets are going to go into the case quite a bit. So it's going to take a little bit of its case capacity away from the 28 Nosler. So that'll be a big difference between the 28 Nosler and the 7mm PRC. But let's go ahead and look at the velocities. As again, I think the 28 Nosler will be just a little bit faster. Maybe. It could be about the same. But I think both of these are going to be shooting 175 grain bullets. Well, the 28 Nosler can shoot at 3200. I expect you to be able to reload the 7mm PRC close to that, maybe 3150 to 3200 feet per second. But let's really get into some of the bigger bullets. So 185 grain RDF bullet. 28 Nosler shooting at 3150. So I expect the 7mm PRC to be shooting them around 3100 when reloading it. Okay, let's talk potential factory ammo for the 7mm PRC. I think the premier hunting bullet that's going to be offered in factory ammo will be this 175 grain ELDX. Now, some people love the ELDX, some people hate them. I'm not here to talk about that. Let's just look at the G1BC. It's extremely high, 0.689. So This thing is definitely geared towards long range, and I expect this bullet to be moving from factory ammo probably around 3100, maybe 3150. And I think you're going to be able to hand load this to 3200. But again, that's just my guess. Now with the other PRC cartridges like the 6.5 and the 300, they also come with an ELD match factory ammo. And so this is my best guess to what they'll do is the 180 grain ELD match. And I expect the velocities for this to be going anywhere from 3,000 to 3,050 feet per second. And then let's go ahead and look at the BC for this one. Whew, that is impressive. The G1 is 0.796. Extremely high. So this thing is going to be awesome at long range shooting. All right, so in the beginning of the video, I asked, is this going to be the ultimate ELR cartridge, extreme long range cartridge? If the things that I went over are somewhat true or really close, if it's going to match the 28 Nosler in performance, watch out 28 Nosler. So why do I say watch out 28 Nosler? Well, the reason I say that is about half of the rifles aren't even offered in a faster twist rate than 1 and 9. Now you definitely can find them in 1 and 8 twists, which means you can definitely shoot those really high BC bullets. I mean, Berger offers, I think, a 190 and a 195 grain bullet. But for half of the guns for the 28 Nosler, they can't shoot the really high BC bullets. So yeah, the 7mm PRC is definitely going to come with a fast twist rate barrel that's probably going to be 1 and 8. And so, you know, every rifle is going to be able to shoot those really high BC bullets. This thing is going to be a huge game changer if it's close to what I was talking about. Just imagine shooting a 180 grain bullet with a G1 BC of almost 0.800, and it's going 3,050 feet per second or even faster when you hand load it. That thing is going to be crazy good. As a hunting rifle, I don't know. I don't think it's going to dethrone the 7mm Rem Mag, but I think it's going to be a very, very good long distance cartridge. So let's talk about two downsides I see for the 7mm PRC. First, I don't think this is going to be a very efficient cartridge. So it's definitely not going to be like the 6.5 PRC. And I think it's going to be worse than a 300 PRC as efficiency goes. The next thing, no surprise, I think it's going to be a barrel burner. You're shooting these really high BC bullets very fast. I think barrel life's going to be pretty short, kind of like the 28 Nosler. As they say, you don't buy a Ferrari to get Prius gas mileage. So, oh well. I think the 7mm PRC is going to, well, I don't want to hyperbole it, but destroy the 300 PRC performance. Because to get 30 caliber bullets that have that high BSC, you're going to have to shoot like 225 grain or 230 grain bullets. And it's just going to be going much slower in a 300 PRC. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think the 7mm PRC is going to be the ultimate ELR cartridge? I do. Can't wait to see it. One last thing. Let's talk about when it might come out. I've seen rumors that it might come out fall of 2022, so this year. I don't know. Who knows? I could see it coming out next year as well. But yeah, I'm excited to see what it really will be. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.